Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to our first writing unit, which focuses on narratives. Mr. Dara, Ms. Aiken, and I have been looking at some of your fourth grade writing samples and some of the work you've already been doing for us up till this point, and we are really excited because you have a lot of those base skills that we can use to build on this year. Now, this unit, we do a lot of what you did in fourth grade. We just bring it up a notch as far as details and making readers really feel what they should be feeling throughout the story. We know you already have a lot of strategies for generating story ideas, but this year, what we're going to do is we're going to use some of the same strategies you did in fourth grade and take them up a notch so that we can dig even deeper into our writing. Now, you might be wondering where this unit is going to take us. You might be saying, Ms. Tillon, I've wrote narratives all of the years of my elementary school. I'm over it. This is going to be a little different. So actually in this unit, you are going to have the chance to think about these strategies in your own life and apply them to your own life. And then you are going to interview someone, a family member, an adult preferably, and ask them to use that strategy and tell you a story from their life about the same kind of thing that you've been brainstorming in your life. A lot of cultures, this is the way history was taught. They passed stories down from generation to generation and they learned from their elders. And so that's what we're hoping that you can do is learn a little bit more about your family members as you go through this unit. Now, again, you're going to have to interview someone. You can send a phone call, you can call someone, you can text someone and ask them for this story. You could email someone to ask them for the story. You could ask a family member who is in your house. But we do want this to be an adult. So think parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. If you have an older family friend, you could interview them about this. This is going to be on you to get done, though, as it's assigned to you. If you're not interviewing someone later on, when you're telling that person's story, you're not going to have the information that you need to do that. So, all three of us teachers will be keeping a very close eye on making sure that you get those interviews done as we assign them. If not, we're going to have to reach out to parents and let them know that you need to get this done, or we're going to have to assign you homework to do this with a teacher or with someone else to make sure that you have this, or you're going to struggle later on in this unit when you're writing a story from someone else's perspective. Because you can't tell someone else's story if you don't know the details of that story. So last year, you've already used the strategy of listing a whole bunch of ideas and then picking one and writing entries about that. We're going to do that as well this year as we generate. I also already have a sticky note up on our chart about thinking of a person who matters to you. That was already a strategy you used last year that you can come back to if you're struggling to come up with story ideas. But today we are actually going to learn a new strategy for helping people write really powerful stories. Because remember, we're trying to dig deeper this year in our storytelling. Now, it usually works to jot moments that have been turning points in your life. And these moments might be first times, they might be last times something have happened to you, they might be a time you realize something super important about your life. So, we are going to work on that today as our objective. So I want you to be able to generate story ideas that can explain a significant turning point in your life. A turning point, again, being a first time, a last time, or a time you really realize something. So I want you to pause this now and I want you to try to put that in your own words. Just think it out loud to yourself. You can use those sentence frames, but what is your goal for today? Now that you know your goals for today, I want to show you how I would go through this thought process to come up with some story ideas. Now, again, remember, we really want to come up with ideas that are going to make a strong story. Turning points can help us get there. So I'm going to be thinking through some of those first time, last time things that have happened in my life to help me come up with stronger story ideas. Now, bear with the technology here, it's not perfect. trying to do this without my pen and my board. When I think about first times in my life, I think about first times that were really important to me and that really stand out as making me feel some strong feelings. And the first time that I think of is the first time I got to hold my niece Kylie. And I think that's important because it was a really big moment in my life. It made me realize how much I loved her, and it made me realize just how impactful a baby can be. I'm going to add a little detail to that as I write it down too, just to give me some thoughts. When I think about other first times or last times, I think about a last time of when my grandma died. Um, the last time that I got to see my grandma, I didn't obviously know was going to be the last time I saw her. And so I think I could make a really strong story about cherishing the time you have with people, and just how you never know. So the last time I saw my grandma, and I also realized something in that, and I'm going to add that here, that I realized how important time is, to cherish the time you have with people. First times, last times. I think another first time that stands out to me in my life was the first time that I played hockey. Hockey was important to me. I loved playing sports. But the first time that I stepped on the ice to play hockey, skates are a little different from ice skating, figure skating to hockey skating. And I had been a figure skater. And so then the first time that I played hockey, I went to go on a toe pick, and hockey skates don't have that, and I face planted. So kind of an embarrassing moment in my life, but the first time I played hockey and fell on my face. So those are just a few ideas that come to mind when I think of first times, last times, or times that I'm realizing something that I think would make for a really strong story. Now, as you go to do this, what I want you to do is open up to the first page of a writing notebook or a piece of blank paper. And I want you to write on top first times, last times, or times you realize something. Have that on top of your page. And then I want you to do exactly as I did. I want you to list some times that you think would make a powerful story, whether those are first times you experience things, last times you experience things, or times where you really realized something in life. And as you saw with me, what the last time I saw my grandma kind of also made me realize something. So that one can go hand in hand. You should have a list of, I would say, at least 3 story ideas in your notebook today. If you come up with more, that's great. But make sure you're not just putting first time I met my baby brother. Put a little bit of something next to that, a little bit more detail, um, other than it just being the first time I met my brother, the first time I got my puppy. Try to put more detail of what is happening. For example, right here, you can say, the last time I saw my grandma before she died, I realized even when you lose people, a part of them stays with you. So put something a little stronger than just that quick jot so that when you come back to this tomorrow, you'll remember why that was going to be a powerful story. So, again, in your notebook today, you should have at least 3 story ideas of first times, last times, and or times you realize something in your life that could turn into a powerful story. Don't start writing them yet. That's coming. Today we're just getting a good story list going.